like, share, subscribe. Shouts out to the Lions Den community. And don't y'all forget to subscribe to the podcast show. Link will be pinned in the top of the chat.
Just name the channel who could bang with us. I'll prove that you are smoking dust. GTV Media is top notch in this game, y'all. You failures only have yourself to blame, y'all. Cricket TV and a weapons make you suckers cry. Why don't you close your channel, crawl into a hole and die? Shout out to those who love our movement, no, we'll never flop until you just get your mouth off LGBT. We are the underground outfit, y'all. We built this whole thing by ourselves, no in y'all. Independence start with self-preservation. If you can't take care of self, then how can you build a nation, y'all? Yup, we got that merch for the ladies, and yes, we even got that merch for the babies, and we got appliances and everything that you will need. We got some banging songs that make anemic haters bleed.
All right, you guys, salute to everybody tapping on in, man. I appreciate all you guys, man. And again, man, we are at it, bro. And Lord have mercy, man. When it rains, it pours. Press 1. If y'all can hear me in the comment section, man, press 1. If you guys can hear me in the comment section, Cassie Ventura was getting pressed big time by the defense today. Y'all can hear me? All right, bet, man. Y'all smash the like button. Share the video, subscribe to the video. Y'all know I'm coming back to back as we get the info, man. And Diddy, man, dirty money. Oh, my God. As this one comes off the top rope, late, great Macho King Randy Savage style. Ooh, yeah, if you can dig that. As Don Richard coming to court reportedly tomorrow after Cassie as a reported witness in this victim in this Diddy case. Man, bro, this is bad news. Now, somebody says, who is she? She's Don Richard from Dirty Money. Diddy, Dirty Money. You understand what I'm saying? A part of his own group. And I told you guys, man, it's coming. And they didn't want to listen. You better listen now, man. As Don Richard is coming tomorrow. She is up tomorrow under her name, and she is standing on. Now, for you guys who don't know what's going on, it is going. I told y'all Diddy going down because Don Richard is on the record. You understand what I'm saying? She's on the record. Danity Kane, you already know. She's on the record for saying she's seen Diddy do certain things. And I'm going to read some of the things that Don Richard has accused and probably will be testifying against Sean Combs on trial tomorrow with. As the government has just announced, that they are bringing Don Richard on tomorrow after Cassie gets off the stand. And Don Richard, Lord have mercy, man. This is about to be super ugly for Diddy Combs. As let me read the allegations that Don Richard has brought against Diddy. Because, man, this is bad for Sean. I told y'all, man, y'all didn't want to listen, man. Y'all thought the government was playing. This ain't for play. You talking about the feds, bro. And I told y'all what it was, so they can run that story and stuff, talking about he ain't do nothing to Justin Bieber and all that other stuff. Man, listen, man. I'm telling y'all right now. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, share the video. Share this video, subscribe to the channel, because this is going down tomorrow. So for you guys who don't know who she is, Dirty Money. Dirty Money, Don Richard. You understand? Danity Kane. She coming tomorrow, and I'm going to tell y'all what the allegations are. So Dawn, who was professionally known as Don Richard, she's an American singer, songwriter, and a performer. Now, she gained widespread recognition as a member of the girl group Danity Kane. That was Diddy's girl group, formed by the defendant Sean Diddy Combs. And later, she transitioned into a key member of Diddy's band, Dirty Money. Now, Sean Combs, Diddy, once celebrated hip-hop mogul popularity known by his stage names. Y'all already know his names. This, that, and the third, right? Now, they say his nickname was Puff because he had a temper and was known to huff and puff. That's the reason why they say they call him Puff when he was angry, right? And it says, over the decades, following his rise to fame, Diddy, right, star-studded, larger-than-life persona, overwhelmed his vicious temper and persuasive acts of violence towards those in his inner circle, specifically women. Man, Diddy's in for it, bro. I try to tell y'all this. Niggas ain't want to listen to me. They gonna learn today. They might try and go at Cassie, and they going at Cassie. You ain't gonna be able to get this one, that 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 one. Bang, 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 bang. I'm trying to tell y'all this, man. It says that Mr. Combs' namesake, temper, frequently manifested in physical violence. Mr. Combs regularly hurled objects in a fit of rage, often throwing items such as mobile phones, laptops, food, and studio equipment across the room at multiple people. On numerous occasions, Mrs. Dawn Richard witnessed, and this is going to be testified to tomorrow, Lord have mercy, Mr. Combs brutally beat Mrs. Cassie Cassandra Ventura, aka Mrs. Ventura. His persistent abuse included choking and strangling Mrs. Ventura, striking her with his hands and with objects, slapping her, punching her, and throwing items at her, including a scolding hot pan that she says that Diddy threw at Cassie. Man, this nigga gone, bro. I try to tell y'all this, man. On many occasions, Mrs. Richard tried to intervene, offering Cassie Ventura support and encouragement to leave Mr. Combs. Each time Mr. Combs learned of her efforts to help Mrs. Ventura, he became enraged, threatening Dawn Richard life. So she says that she tried to help Diddy leave. She was in Diddy's group, Dirty Money, and Danity Kane. She said she tried to help Cassie because Diddy was hitting this girl with hot scolding pans, punching her, slapping her, throwing all kind of stuff at her, choking her, strangling her. She said she witnessed all of this. Now, she says on many occasions, right, she tried to intervene. She offered Cassie support. And this is what she's going to be testifying tomorrow, y'all. I'm giving y'all all her testimony, because she already told y'all this. She tried to offer Cassie support and encouragement to get away from Diddy, to leave him. But each time she says that Diddy learned that she was trying to help Cassie, he became enraged and threatened her life with statements such as, "You want to die today? I make a nigga go missing and I can end people," is what he told this woman on your screen. That's what she's saying he told her when she tried to help Cassie escape. But all y'all talking about something, hey man, why Cassie ain't just leave? Shit, now you finna see. I told y'all. Everybody thought it was gonna be in with Cassie. Yeah, they got Cassie. They got it. I told you, you ain't gonna get the next one. Now what they gonna say about Don Richard? What their excuse gonna be about? Somebody said, who is she? Y'all don't know who she is? Diddy, Dirty Money. She's in the group Dirty Money and Danity Kane. What is you talking about? Y'all don't remember who Don Richard is? Are y'all crazy? Dirty Money. Y'all, something wrong with y'all, man. You guys ain't been, if y'all ain't remember who Danny Kane was in Dirty Money, I don't know what's wrong with my people. But it says on many occasions she tried to help Cassie, and Diddy threatened her life. She said Diddy told her, "You want to die today? I make a nigga go missing. And I end people," she said Diddy told her. Now she says, compounding Diddy's violent acts and death threats, he flagrantly exploited her musical talents as a singer and writer while withholding her rightful earnings, stealing her copyrighted works, and subjecting her to years of inhumane working conditions, which included groping, assault, false imprisonment, among other violations. Man, they're going to destroy Diddy, bro. I told you they're going to prison for life, bro. For nearly a decade, she says that Diddy manipulated her with mantras that submission to his depraved demands was necessary for her career advancement, instilling in her the belief that such abuse and exploitation were required for female artists to succeed in the music industry. It wasn't until Cassie's bravery, she says, and coming forward that Dawn herself realized. You said, "Where's the proof?" "Oh, you're going to see it in court tomorrow, motherfucker." He said, "Where's the proof?" "You're going to see it in court tomorrow, baby boy. You just a baby boy. You not the real McCoy. I will run these streets." Yeah, you a baby boy, right? You a baby boy. Believe that. I know sometimes it might get crazy. I'll always be here for you, baby. Baby, I'm just trying to change the game. So let me work my thing. Let me do my thing. You just a baby boy. You not the real McCoy. I will run these streets. Punk ass nigga. You a baby boy, nigga. You a baby boy. A baby boy. Yeah, let's get back to it. Talking about where's the proof, nigga. Nigga, shut up, nigga. It's gonna be 100 people in there showing you facts. So she says that Cassie's bravery gave her the strength to step up, right? Realizing that her own suffering was tied to many years of abuse by Diddy, and that had become normalized to her. As more women, she says, courageously come forward, she has been empowered by the collective strength that now adds her voice to the growing chorus of victims bravely sharing their harrowing stories against this nigga. Now, together, they seek justice and stand in solidarity as the latest victims, right, of this nigga Diddy. Now, basically, her allegations against Diddy, man, crazy work, bro. Crazy. And we're going to get into this. Her allegations against Diddy. So she's going to get on the stand tomorrow. Now, her allegation, right? Her allegation. You said I'm mad at Diddy to listen to my mixtape. Now I'm not an artist, pussy nigga. I'm not an artist, nigga. Straight like that. I'm not an artist, nigga. I don't want to be in the industry. I don't want to have a grown-ass man calling me daddy, nigga. I don't want to have to come in a room with a nigga a buck a naked, nigga. I don't want to do none of that, nigga. I don't want to have to, you understand what I'm saying? Have a nigga tell me all this shit. Nigga, sit your ass down, nigga. Yeah, we are thinking for ourselves. And he's guilty, motherfucker. Nigga, get out my channel, nigga. The hell wrong with you? You get out too, nigga. We don't need you, nigga. Let welfare feed you. So her allegations are that you got to, and I'm sorry, y'all, for my language. You got to get like that with these punks. I'm sorry. You got to get on their level, man. You got to get on their level, man. Because these dudes is punks and they breath stink. Halitosis to the Moses, nigga. So let's get back to it. In or around 2004, Dawn Richards says she was selected to participate in season 3 of MTV's reality TV show Making of the Band. She says the show was centered around the formation and development of new musical group under the mentorship of Diddy. The contestants would compete and be chosen by Diddy to form a band, which would go on to create albums and perform. For aspiring artists like Mrs. Richard, Making the band represented a concrete path to a career in the entertainment industry. Now, Mrs. Richard appeared in season 3 and 4 of Making the Band, which first aired in 2005, and in season 5, Making the Band, which aired in 2009. Right now, she says that also the people that was in that show, y'all already know Aubrey O'Day, all those people in that show, her, Juanita Woods, Woodget, and just a whole other list of people that was in that show, right? Kalina Harper, all these people, right? That was a part of Dirty Money, excuse me. You know, she was in Dirty Money with Kalina Harper, right? So she goes on to say, right? Oh, Carlos, Hermano, I was never capping, nigga. You know what the fuck you talking about, nigga. Step your ass out of here, nigga. This grown man business right here. You understand what I'm saying? So it says that out of 1,000 of contestants, Mrs. Richard, along with approximately 12 other women, were selected to participate in season 3 of Making of the Band. 5 women, including Mrs. Richard, were ultimately chosen to be in the group. Danity Kane, which was named by this woman on your screen, Mrs. Dawn Richard. Now, she says prior to and including the first Danity Kane album, the Making the Band was filmed entirely at Diddy's recording studio called Daddy's House Recording Studio, right? Now, she says the Making the Band content focused on Danity Kane's work on his second album, Welcome to the Dollhouse. And it was filmed at Daddy's house and at Mr. Combs' Miami residence. Other Making the Band's episodes included Los Angeles as a third filming location. Now, she says upon information and belief, to create Making of the Band, camera crews filmed 24 hours a day, gathering months of footage to condense into mere hours of entertainment for viewers. Now, she says that Danity Kane Group released his self-titled album, debut album, August 2006, named Welcome to the Dollhouse. In his second album, Welcome to the Dollhouse in March of 2008. Now, she said Danity Kane's first album sold over 4 million copies. She said damages to her unpaid salary are estimated to be around $1 million that Diddy didn't pay her. Now, Danity Kane's second album, Welcome to the Dollhouse, sold 2 million copies. Now, they're saying damages for that album and royalties she's owes around $500,000. She says damages that she's owed for unpaid wages by Diddy and torn over 100 dates with Danity Kane are estimated to be about $1.8 million, y'all. Now, she says Diddy fired her bandmate, Aubrey O'Day, and Juanita D. Woodget from Danity Kane on live TV at the height of his fame in 2008, which resulted in Danity Kane being disbanded in 2009. Now, she says during the auditions, right? And she said this is her first encounter with Diddy aggressive, intimidating behavior and his animus towards women. She says during the auditions on the set of Making the Band, Diddy projected an aura of superiority, wealth, and power. She says Diddy regularly wore sunglasses and avoided looking at the female contestants in their eyes, contributing to an atmosphere of uncertainty and intimidation. She says during the auditions, Diddy spoke to the women contestants in a hostile, condescending manner, making disparaging gender-based remarks such as calling them fat, ugly bitches and hoes. Dawn Richards says she felt threatened and intimidated by Diddy's blatant disdain for young women like herself who were excited for the opportunity to be on the show. Now, Dawn also said once the band was made, Diddy's contempt for women was readily apparent as he continued to display his aggressive and hostile behavior towards her and all her female Danity Kane bandmates. She says Mr. Combs regularly referred to the 5 women as bitches and hoes and denigrated their physical appearance. By the way of example, she said Diddy stated that she was too skinny and needed to do something about her face. She said on one occasion, around 2005, during the first season of Making the Band 3, she observed Diddy's ex-partner and the mother of his 3 children, Kim Porter, leaving Diddy's studio in tears with visible facial injuries, including a lacerated lip, realizing that Diddy was capable of committing these acts of violence against women caused her to fall into a deep apprehension and fear that Diddy could one day physically harm her. Now, she says she was present when Diddy was introduced to Cassie Ventura for the first time in around 2006. She said the moment Diddy saw Cassie, his demeanor noticeably shifted. Diddy positioned himself directly in front of Cassie, her seat, invading her personal space, and fixated on her with an intense, unyielding stare, isolating her from the other people in the room, including Cassie's then boyfriend and music producer, Ryan Leslie. This thing finna get dirt. This thing finna get ugly in court for Diddy. They finna let everything out on this nigga, bro. She said, coincidentally, this first meeting between Diddy and Cassie was the first time that she was in Diddy's presence without a camera crew filming. She said, observing Diddy behave in such an intimidating, predatory manner for the first time that they were off camera made her feel deeply apprehensive and afraid of this nigga. She said subsequently, Cassie ended her relationship with Ryan Leslie and began dating Diddy, who would become violent and abusive towards her. Now, she says that Danity Kane, right, the sexual harassment, the inhumane treatment, and the denial of basic needs by Diddy came into play. Now, she says that for the majority of her tenure as a member of Diddy's group, Danity Kane and his other group, Dirty Money, that Diddy required her to remain at his very residences and studios in New York, Los Angeles, Florida, New Jersey for activities such as recording, rehearsing, dressing, preparing costumes, and exercising. She says throughout the productions of Making the Band 3 and 4, Diddy deprived her and her Danity Kane bandmates of the basic needs such as adequate food and sleep. She said that when her or the Danity Kane bandmates requested meals or rest, that this nigga Diddy refused and chastised them with derogatory comments that Diddy said to them as, you bitches don't want this. Y'all are not hungry enough. And I'm not paying you bitches to work. Or I'm paying you bitches to work, excuse me. This demeaning behavior, she said, undermined her confidence and contributed significantly to her growing feelings of insecurity and fear of reprisal from Diddy. Now, she says that upon her belief, Diddy would regularly be awake for prolonged periods of times as he was high on drugs. And she said during these periods of times, Diddy demanded continuous access to her and her Danity Kane bandmates, often forcing them to record and rehearse for stretches of 36 to 48 hours without breaks. Now, she said they was forced to choose between eating and sleeping. She said she lost a significant amount of weight, weighing approximately 100 pounds. At a height of 5'4", she said she began to normalize these extreme conditions and perceive them as standard requirements for her participation in Danity Kane. She said that Diddy regularly sent his associates to wake her and her Danity bandmates up overnight hours so he could watch them rehearse. The regularity of these disturbances led her to adapt by sleeping in a sitting position, fully dressed with makeup on, heightening on her anxiety. Over time, she says, abnormal sleeping arrangement came to feel routine, further normalizing Diddy's invasive demands. She said, in addition to his exhausting rehearsals, Diddy required her and the bandmates to participate in intense workouts with a personal trainer. She said on one occasion, while running on the beach, she became so dehydrated that she threw up And instead of offering medical assistance, the MTV News or network camera crews filmed the incident. And y'all smash the like button. We should have over 3,000 likes. Easy work. She went on to say that contributing to her acceptance of such treatment as a part of her professional life. She said that the unrelenting and rigorous schedule of rehearsals, performance, and near constant filming that Diddy imposed caused her to experience extreme weight loss, dehydration, fatigue, and painful rashes from the microphone pack she was required to wear on her back. She said these conditions intensified as her feelings became of powerlessness, as she increasingly viewed them as a part of her professional reality and feared the consequences of any resistance, right? She went on to say that in a further assertion of power and dominance, Diddy insisted on holding meetings while dressed in only his drawers. She said on one occasion in 2008 at his Miami residence, Diddy emailed her directing her to meet him in the living room. She said when she arrived, he was wearing only his underwear. She said that she asked Diddy to put some clothes on, and this nigga refused, stating, "This my fucking house." She said Diddy then conducted a meeting lasting approximately an hour while dressed in his underwear, causing her to feel violated and embarrassed and amplifying her feelings of powerlessness. Now, she says following the official Danity Kane breakup in early 2009, she says, effectuated by Diddy, she experienced significant financial hardship with no prospective opportunities for employment within the entertainment field. She spent several months traveling from Baltimore to Daddy's house recording studio in New York without pay or allocated budget. She said Diddy promised that her compositions would result in payment of license fees and royalty pursuant to her contract with Bad Boy Records. However, no such compensation was ever reported or paid to this woman. Damages, she says, relative to these continuing copyright infringements, she says she gonna prove that too. She also says that while her being with Dirty Money, that she experienced Diddy's gender-based physical violence, criminal acts, sexual assault, threats, and intimidation while she was with Dirty Money. She says approximately in the fall of 2009, many of her compositions had been recorded by other Bad Boy Records artists. Due to the success of her compositions, she was invited to meet with musicianal artist Kalina Harper. Shortly thereafter, Diddy, Mrs. Richard, and Kalina Harper formed a new group called Diddy Dirty Money. She said initial recording for Diddy Dirty Money album, Last Train to Paris, took place in Diddy's home on Doheny Drive in Los Angeles, California. She said on the first day of the recording, her and Kalina Harper arrived at Diddy's home and waited in the kitchen where Diddy's girlfriend, Cassie, was frying eggs for Diddy. She says that she observed Diddy come down the stairs looking high on drugs, enter the kitchen, approach Cassie, and scream, "I've been asking you for my shit. I can't stand you, bitch. You never get it right." She said Diddy then pushed Cassie against the wall and choked her. And then he picked up a scalding hot pan of eggs and threw it at Cassie, causing her to fall to the ground in a fetal position. Cursing her and screaming at her, she said Diddy dragged Cassie Ventura up the stairs. But this the nigga these niggas love and cap for. These niggas all going to hell. Every last one of them niggas going straight to hell. All them niggas is hoes, nigga. Frozen in a shock of terror, Dawn Richards says she heard glass shattering upstairs, crashing, and banging noises as Diddy dragged Cassie up them stairs. She said that she wanted to intervene to help Cassie, but Kalina Harper, Big Nose, adamantly refused to interfere in Diddy's relationship and physically removed Dawn Richards from the residence. Terrified and shaken, Don Richards said that she returned to her hotel where she was unable to sleep because she was worried about Cassie and her own safety. She says the following day, she received a phone call demanding that she return to Diddy's home and continue recording. She says that Diddy brought her and Kalina into the recording room at his studio. He locked the door. She said then this nigga dimmed the lights and gave each of them flowers. Now, she said Diddy went on a length stating, and I quote, "This is normal. This was just a lover's argument where no one was hurt. This is what I love. This is what love is what she said Diddy told her. I'm giving you an opportunity. If you want to make it, you'll shut your mouth. If you say anything, there will be consequences," she said. Mr. Combs, she said, Diddy further warned that people end up missing. She says being threatened while locked for over 20 minutes in a small enclosed place with Diddy, after observing Diddy violently assault Cassie the day before, she said she was terrified and genuinely believed that Diddy would follow through with his threats. Now, in or around November 2009, after the Soul Train Awards in Atlanta, Georgia, Diddy, she said, flew her and Kalina Harper to his house in New York on his private jet for an after party. There was, many well-known celebrities at the after party, right? Now it says there was a major amount, she says, of illegal drugs that were being openly consumed at this party. She said upon her information and her belief, Diddy had arranged for dozens of young women and girls. This is going to destroy Diddy. She gets on the stand tomorrow. She gets on the stand tomorrow, y'all. Now I want y'all to listen to what she said. She says that Diddy had arranged for dozens of young women and girls, some of whom appeared to be underage, to be transported to the party. She said the women arrived wearing little to no clothing and were giving substances and alcohol. She said many of them appeared to be lethargic or passed out while Diddy and his guests performed sexual acts on these women. Now, she says she believes that her presence at the party was a test to see if Diddy could trust her. Now, she says that Diddy repeatedly said things like, and I quote, "This is a buffet. Enjoy yourselves. This is what we do. This is how we party." She says she felt shocked and horrified at the sight of Diddy and his guests violating an incapacitated young woman and implored that Diddy's personal assistant, whose name was Capricorn Clark, to allow her to leave. Now, she said Mrs. Clark insisted that she waited 15 more minutes for her to make it make sense. That is, to make Don Richards' exit less conspicuous so that Diddy would not notice that she had left. Now, she said knowing that she was not free to leave and had to wait for Mrs. Clark to help her orchestrate her departure, she said Mrs. Richards experienced feelings of pain or panic and being trapped against her will. Now, she also says, and she's going to say this on the stand tomorrow, that Diddy regularly placed her in similar situations with no means to escape. Remember that told y'all force, fraud, coercion, kidnapping. You niggas talking about, hey man, I don't see no Cassie. His ass is gone, nigga. She getting on the stand tomorrow. They confirmed that today, nigga. The government confirmed today that they are putting her on the stand tomorrow, nigga. Diddy's out of here, nigga. And so is all these capping ass niggas that's rolling with him. Because you can't break her down. Now, where's she at with the free calls? Where's she at with the free calls? You ain't gonna be able to talk that shit about her. I told you, once they keep bringing these witnesses up and all these victims, them excuses gonna run out. Them niggas thought it was just Cassie. They forgot. This is a 60-day trial. 60 days. 60 to 90 days. They gonna be cooking this nigga for the next 2.5, 3 months, nigga. 3 the hard way, nigga. Yeah. That nigga gonna lose his mind to them that when she go up there tomorrow, nigga. They say today she up there, she's being put on the stand tomorrow. Jonathan Ottie's not being on the stand tomorrow. Tomorrow is Cassie in the morning, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, because they're gonna recross Cassie tomorrow, and then Kalina Harper's getting on the stand tomorrow. I mean, not Kalina Harper, Dawn Richards getting on the stand tomorrow. This woman you see on your screen, right here, from Dirty Money to Celebrity. So that's what's going down. Now, let's keep going, right? You a lie. Let me block you right now. So then, this is what happens, right? Now, she says that Diddy, right, at his drug-fueled parties, right, his guests, and including herself, were required to surrender their phones upon the entry. She says that Diddy kept the doors locked and guarded by security personnel, making it impossible for her to leave without alerting Diddy that she had done so. Now, she says that Diddy hired police officers. See? Now, everybody said, why Cassie didn't go to the police? I told y'all, they about to sweep the streets, nigga. Tisa Tell said Jonathan Ollie's taking a stand tomorrow. I don't know. I'm not going to go against what Tisa's saying, but I just seen the government say just now that they're putting Dawn Richard, she's the next one on the stand tomorrow. So I don't know if Tisa got it wrong or if they're going to get all of them, but they're putting her, Dawn Richard 100%. I just got the paperwork. She's on the stand tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So, but Tisa's in the courtroom too, so salute to her. She's doing a good job, and she looking like, oh my God. Lord have mercy. Woo! Man. Yeah, anyway, salute. Anyways, so let's get back to it. She says, Dawn Richard says, that Diddy kept the doors locked, and it was guarded by security personnel, and it made it impossible for her to leave, right? Without alerting him, you know what I'm saying? And so she said that Diddy had hired police officers to attend his party, sending a clear message to his guests that his influence extended to law enforcement officers. She get on the news and say that tomorrow is over with. She gonna stand tomorrow and say that it's over with. This is why I try to tell y'all, they're gonna destroy Diddy up there. Because everybody said, well, why Cassie didn't leave? Why she didn't go to the police? Dawn Richard saying that Diddy hired police. It's right here in the paperwork. Matter of fact, let me put on the screen for y'all. Because I know niggas gonna say I'm capping. They're gonna put this shit on the screen. Because I'm telling you what she gonna get on the stand and say tomorrow. So you can get mad, at me, but I want y'all to go and break her down. Go and say she lying. Go and pull up her resume and show me where her freak off's at and where her message is at with Diddy. Show me where hers. I told y'all gonna stop running out of excuses. You all are gonna stop running out of excuses. Y'all excuses gonna run out. That I guarantee. It ain't I guarantee it. Their excuses gonna run out. And when they run out of excuses, it's a wrap for the kids. Let me put this on the screen for y'all. Because I need everybody to see this. I know they think I'm capping, but I was never capping. Let me put this on the screen just so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Because I know y'all want to see what I'm talking about. Right there. So I'm putting it on the screen for everybody, just so y'all can see. Right there. So it says that Mr. Diddy regularly placed Mrs. Richards, Dawn Richards, in similar situations with no means of escape. At Diddy's drug-fueled party, she said, his guests, including her, were required to surrender their phones upon entry. She says Diddy kept the doors locked and guarded by security personnel. Bro, let's get 3,000 likes. We got over 3,000 people in here. She says and they're required to give up their phones upon entry. She says Diddy kept the doors locked and guarded by security personnel, making it impossible for her to leave without alerting Diddy that she had done so. She said Diddy hired police officers to attend his parties, sending a clear message to his guests that his influence extended to law enforcement officers and creating a climate of fear and a tactic warning that reporting him to authorities would be both unacceptable and futile. She said, on many occasions, Diddy had parties at his Miami, Florida residence that lasted for days. She says, at one of the parties, she witnessed Diddy openly stating that he had arranged for busloads of young, exotic girls, such as mixed with black and Asian, Indonesian, and albino. Once again, she says she observed inebriated young girls being sexually violated by Diddy and his guests. She said in a state of panic and terror, she fled to the bedroom that Diddy had insisted she stay in and barricaded the doors shut with furniture. Now she says that Diddy openly assaulted Cassie in front of her and other witnesses on multiple occasions. She said on one occasion, in or around the fall of 2009, that Diddy Dirty Money Group was in New York preparing to perform at a festival. Inside of their vehicle, she says that Diddy grabbed Cassie's neck, pulled her out the van onto the grass, pinned her head down, right? Choking her while yelling, "You gonna get fucked up today." She said this incident took place in a backstage area just outside the festival and was entirely visible to a passerby. She said in another instance, in or around early 2010, that Diddy punched Cassie in the face in the bathroom of a party in Los Angeles. She said frequently when Cassie attempted to voice an opinion or stand up to Diddy, he would strike her or wrap his hands around her throat and choke her ass. Now she says on the first of several occasions that they observed Diddy, or she observed Diddy assault Cassie, right? She says that her and Kalina Harper spoke with Cassie to support Cassie and encourage her. Cassie in escaping that abusive relationship she was in with Diddy. And every time that her and Kalina Harper would try to intervene, Diddy learned of the conversation, became irate. She says Diddy screamed at all the women, "Y'all bitches don't get in my relationship. Don't tell my bitch what she need to be doing. Just make money and shut the fuck up. I end artists. I shelve careers. You could be missing. And you bitches want to die today," among other threats. Now, she also said that Interscope Records enabled Diddy's gender-motivated violence, right? Now, she says that in or around late 2009, she says in early 2010, the Bad Boy Entertainment entered an agreement with Interscope, Geffen, and A&M Records, Interscope. Now, she said upon her information and belief that Bad Boy was paid $50 million in exchange for Bad Boy future releases being distributed through Interscope. Now, she said in doing so, Diddy intended to capitalize on Interscope's significant resources and enhance the promotion of sales of Bad Boy releases, including Diddy Dirty Money's upcoming album. Now, she said in the weeks and months leading up to the Bad Boy Interscope deal, Diddy had frequent meetings with the producer, then CEO of Interscope Records, Jimmy Iovine. She said on one such occasion, Diddy hosted a dinner at West Hollywood, California restaurant, in which her and Kalina Harper were present and required to attend. She said among the guests at the dinner were celebrities like Neo and Usher, as well as Jimmy Iovine. Now, she said at that dinner, Diddy and Cassie had an argument in front of the dinner guests. She said Diddy hissed at Cassie in a screaming whisper and forcefully punched her in her stomach causing her to double over in visible pain and start crying. She said that Mrs. Clark escorted Cassie out of the restaurant, and Diddy remained and continued socializing with the dinner guests. She said at this point, the Interscope records clearly had actual knowledge that Diddy was dangerous around females and that he was willing to brazenly batter a female in public. She said even after Jimmy Iovine watched Diddy commit a violent assault in front of numerous high-profile witnesses, that Diddy, right, Bad Boy Interscope deal still took place and remained in effect, providing Diddy with immense financial rewards and enabling him to commit further acts of violence without fear of repercussions. Now, she said watching Diddy openly assault Cassie in a room front of Mr. Iovine and various celebrities. She said, and observing that other powerful musical industry representatives that were complicit in Diddy's behavior, she said it's amplified her fears that Diddy would one day harm her and his actions would be accepted and normalized by everyone surrounding him. She said as a part of her agreement, or the agreement between Bad Boy and Interscope, she said Interscope heavily promoted Diddy Dirty Money's Last Train to Paris album. She said Jimmy Iovine had presented Diddy with a demo of the Coming Home for him to produce, a song that will become a multi-platinum hit. And she said Jimmy was encouraged that Diddy, he was encouraging Diddy to develop a new sound for the album, into which she says provided vocal performances for the project. Now she said released in 2010 of November, the album The Last Train to Paris became Diddy Dirty Money's most commercially successful project, providing vast financial rewards to both Interscope and Diddy, right? Now, she says that Diddy, with Dirty Money, when she was with the Dirty Money group, she said Diddy subjected her to labor trafficking and oppressive work conditions. Now, she says in or around the fall of 2009, that Diddy's Dirty Money group began recording the song Love Comes Down. She said upon information in her belief that Diddy continued to use drugs that caused him to remain awake for prolonged periods of time. Now, she said when Diddy was awake, he would demand that Mrs. Richard and Kalina Harper record in the studio, where they would spend 3 to 4 consecutive days recording without break to eat or sleep. She said that Diddy required her and Kalina Harper to remain at his home continuously, denying them the opportunity to return to their hotel rooms for breaks. She says the degree of control that Diddy exercised over her daily life and basic needs exacerbated the significant power imbalance and threatening atmosphere that ensured her compliance with his demands. Now, she says that Combs, Diddy, regularly left the studio and required her and Kalina Harper to stay and write new verses to the songs. Smash the like button as y'all come on in here. We got 3,000, almost 4,000 people in the chat room. Let's get 4,000 likes. Now, she says occasionally she says that she tried to leave to get something to eat or go to her hotel. She says, but whenever she tried to leave, that Diddy would call and demand her and say, "What the fuck are you? And we have an album to make." She says Diddy frequently made threats, especially if they asked for food or rest, stating, "You're a bitch, and I don't want to see your fucking face. I make niggas go missing, and I make things go away." She said each time she returned to the studio immediately, believing that Diddy was capable of following through with his threats. She said that Diddy criticized her for being too skinny, yet denied her request for food and demanded that she drink only peanut butter shakes. She said that Diddy had full meals prepared by a chef and he ate them in front of them, never offering them any food. She also said that her and Kalina Harper begged Diddy for food and rest breaks, but Diddy refused, making statements to them such as, "Absolutely fucking not. And this is what it takes to be great." Now, she also says that Diddy responses underscored the threat that he posed and heightened her concerns for her safety and her well-being. She also said that She continued to work nonstop, transitioning between the studio, rehearsals, workout, and back to the studio. She says she became severely dehydrated and experienced chronic stomach cramping from being undernourished and excessively thin. She said on numerous occasions, she told Diddy that she was not feeling well, and he called her lazy and dismissed her health concerns, instilling in her further apprehension and communicating her needs. Now, she says in or about the summer of 2010, she says that Don Richard says that she expressed uh, abdominal pain and swollen glands and a fever, right? She experienced this. She said that she was hospitalized and diagnosed with a joint pain. I don't know how you pronounce it. That was due to overuse, sprains, tendonitis, and infection, and anemia, and low white blood cell count. She says that she presented Diddy with her medical records specifying that she needed to emphasize eating well and being adequately hydrated and getting adequate rest. She says, but Diddy ordered her to report to the studio the next day for a multi-recording studio session. She says Diddy blatantly disregarded her health and well-being. You understand what I'm saying? And she says that centered her fear of his authority and control over her career and her health. Now, she also said that Diddy continued to witness, or she continued to witness at this time, Diddy abuse towards Cassie Ventura. Now, she says Cassie often wore sunglasses and makeup in an attempt to hide the visible facial injuries that this demon, this cabin ass demon that y'all niggas praise, that y'all niggas saying free Diddy, all you niggas running around here saying free Diddy, right? You cabin ass niggas, straight like that. You niggas is sad. You understand what I'm saying? You feel me? Niggas on a one-way ticket straight to hell, highway to hell, and I said it, right? She says she continued to witness Cassie wear sunglasses and makeup in an attempt to hide her injuries, her visible injuries. She said that these incidents further solidified her fear of Diddy, as they were constant reminders of the physical dangers she potentially could and eventually would face. Now, she said that Diddy often exhibited uncontrollable anger during recording sessions, throwing objects like albums. She said this nigga threw laptops and he threw food against the wall or at people. She said Diddy frequently flew into frenzied, unpredictable rages. She says that she feared making any misstep that could direct his anger towards her. However, she says, right? She says that he fears, her fears went beyond her immediate physical safety because she witnessed Diddy's violent nature, a side of Diddy that the world had not yet seen. And she feared falling out of Diddy's good grace, or worse, standing up to him or speaking out against him could result in serious harm to her. Now, she says she frequently thought about Diddy threat against and about making people, quote unquote, go missing, and feared for taking any action that could label her as a target. Now, she says despite Diddy's violence and misogyny, Diddy Dirty Money's group experienced significant record sales, selling 2 million copies of one single, 500,000 copies of another in the US, and in Australia, 5 million single copies. Now, she said her unpaid wages and royalties estimated at $1.2 million Diddy didn't pay her. She says that her unpaid touring wages are estimated at $350,000 for the touring dates that Diddy had for her in the United States alone that was unpaid, right? This is crazy, man. Crazy, bro. Crazy work, man. Crazy work, bro. She goes on to say that Diddy sexually harassed and assaults her. Now, she says, right, I got wrenches in here. Why them wrenches ain't blocking her? If a wrench is a troll, get her ass out of here, nigga. Y'all know them people capping, man. We ain't worried about nobody capping like that. We just send their ass a lullaby. And that's it. A lullaby their ass. So, anyways, it says Mr. Combs, right? Sean Diddy Combs sexually harassed and assaulted her, is what Don Richards said. Now, Don Richards says that she's going to be testifying tomorrow in court. They confirmed that today. The government said they're calling her next. She's the next victim of this nigga Diddy that's coming up tomorrow. And she's going to be testifying on behalf of Cassie. And she's going to be testifying on behalf of what this nigga allegedly did to her. Now, it says between approximately 2009 and 2011, through Diddy Dirty Money's recording process, rehearsals, and performances, that Diddy repeatedly ordered her to strip down to her underwear. He frequently referred to her as a bitch or a whore and made demeaning remarks about her body, right? Calling her lazy, fat, ugly, and skinny, particularly in front of his friends, producers, and bodyguards. Now, she said Diddy frequently held meetings with her wearing only his underwear, despite her protests and repeated requests for him to put on clothes. Now, she says in response, Diddy called her a bitch and a whore and reminded her that she should be grateful for the opportunity to be there. She went on to say that often while they were in the recording studio, that Diddy would hold parties where he would invite young women and young men, right, who were oftenly scantily dressed and appeared underage, to use substances, illegal substances, and engage in sexual acts. Men, young men and women, she said Diddy had that didn't appear to be of age. She said this nigga had in the studio. She is on the stand tomorrow, y'all. She says that she observed Diddy and his colleagues kissing, groping, and inappropriately touching the young woman. So she didn't say just Diddy, she said his colleagues too. She said upon her information and belief that the participants often left the immediate area to have sex, and then they returned shortly thereafter. She said on numerous occasions between 2009 and 2011, under the guise of preparing for performances, that Diddy would intrude into her changing room at Daddy's house unannounced while she was undressed. She says even though a female stylist was present and assisting her with her wardrobe, Diddy would, in front of this female stylist, grope her by her body, including her ass and her chest area on her chest. You know what I'm talking about. On her cannons. She says with no legitimate purpose and without her consent, Diddy used to caress her ass to show the stylist where he wanted her high-waisted panties to be positioned, and attempted, she said, again to touch her chest area, claiming to show the stylist where he wanted her bra strap to go. Now, she says that when Diddy would enter the changing room, that she would cover her chest with her hands to prevent him from seeing or touching her breast area. She says when Diddy would touch her body, she would attempt to swat his hand away and say, "Don't touch me." She says Diddy frequently smacked her on the ass and often commented on her body, noting that although she was skinny, that she had an ass. She says that ignoring her visible and communicated discomfort, Diddy persisted and continued to intrude when she was in the dressing room, continued to touch her ass and her breast area, you understand, was under the guidance or the guise of showing the stylist what she needed to do, and continued to smack her on her ass without her permission, right? Now, she said that in or around October 2010, that the group Diddy Dirty Money she was in performed in Glasgow, Scotland, where Diddy engaged in overt sexually advances towards her. She said on numerous occasions, when she exited the dressing room fully styled, Diddy looked at her approvingly and smacked her ass while making comments such as, "You looking good. Okay, Don, okay. And I see what it is," in a flirtatious tone. Each time she said she moved away and asked him, "Don't touch me." But Diddy disregarded her protest. She said on their last night in Glasgow that she witnessed Diddy and several other men gangbanging a female assistant at the hotel pool. She said she immediately left and went to her hotel room. She said on the flight back to the United States the next day, she asked Diddy where his assistant was. And Diddy looked at her and said, "I don't give a fuck where that bitch is." She later learned that Diddy had taken the assistant's passport with him to the United States and left her stranded in the UK. Lord have mercy, man. She said in Glasgow that Kalina Harper had confided in her that her husband and manager, Tony Vick, was abusive. After an especially severe assault, she confided, meaning Kalina confided in her, that she wanted to leave Mr. Vick. And she said she helped her plan her exit from her relationship. She said, however, though, Kalina and her husband reconciled, and both Diddy and her husband, who had a close relationship, learned of her role in trying to help Kalina. And she says both Diddy and Kalina's husband, Mr. Vick, became noticeably frustrated, or distrustful, I should say, of her, which exacerbated her fears of harm and reprisal. Now, she says when Diddy would require the Diddy Dirty Money bandmates to stay at his residence in Miami, she would barricade herself inside the room at night, placing heavy furniture against the door because she feared of being harmed in her sleep. Now, she says in or around late December 2010 that her, Kalina Harper, and Cassie were in Diddy's Los Angeles home when she says Diddy stated, "I want to give you some fake titties for Christmas." She says that Diddy reached out and squeezed her breast without her permission, saying, "You're an A. I'm thinking a D." She says she recoiled in shock and left the room. She says throughout the above mentioned time period, when she resisted Diddy's advances, she said that Diddy retaliated by denying her singing parts in songs, removing her from songs, refusing to allow her to sing in performances, and turning her microphone off during performances. She says the more that she rebuffed his advances, the more that Diddy retaliatory behavior increased, right? Now, she says that Diddy assaulted and falsely imprisoned her. She says that in December or around December 2010, that the group Diddy Dirty Money was preparing for an upcoming performance on Saturday Night Live. She says, as usual, the rehearsals lasted for days without any opportunity to eat or rest, right? She said, and that the rehearsal schedule was unpredictable. She says, after waiting all day for Diddy to call or send a car, she received a phone call from Diddy demanding, "Where the fuck you bitches? You bitches don't want this. Y'all don't deserve to have someone pick you up. Get a cab." She said her and Kalina Harper immediately took a taxi. to the Sir Studios, and she says that she was anxious because Diddy sounded enraged. Now, she said upon her arrival at this studio that Diddy and Harv Pierre were waiting for them in the lobby. Now, she says that Diddy screamed obscenities at them, saying to her, "What the fuck you bitches? You bitches don't want to win. You don't want this. I'm so tired of y'all." She said that she noticed that people in the lobby were reacting to Diddy's tirade. Embarrassed, she said she asked Diddy to stop swearing and calling them bitches in front of everybody. She said Diddy's facial expression shifted as he stepped towards her, raised his arm, and swung his fist towards her face. She says, believing that Diddy was going to hit her, she braced for the impact before Diddy could hit her. She says that Diddy's bodyguards grabbed her and escorted her out of the studio and forced her into the Bad Boys record Bentley that was parked outside. Now, she said that Kalina ran after her, and Diddy's bodyguard closed and locked the Bentley doors with both women inside. She says now inside the car, she realized that there was no interior door handles and that they were locked inside with no way to escape. Now, she said that her belongings were in the studio, but she was able to call her father from Kalina's cell phone. She said that she relayed to her father what had happened and that she needed help and feared that she would go missing. Now, she said moments later, Diddy's bodyguards removed only Kalina from the Bentley, leaving her locked inside the car for over 2 hours. She said she screamed as loud as she could, but no one responded. She said it was late evening in the wintertime. The windows were heavily tinted. The interior of the car was dark except for the faint interior lights. And she said her belongings and winter coat were in the studio, while the ignition was off and there was no heat. She says that with Diddy's prior threats and violence running through her mind, she felt sheer panic, terror, and feeling of claustrophobia at being locked in a small, dark, enclosed space with no way to communicate or call for help. She says she began to feel cold and feared for her life, not knowing when or if she would be released. She said that her father drove to New York from Baltimore, arrived at the studio approximately 2 hours later. Only after her father arrived and demanded to see her did Harv Pierre and Diddy bodyguard release her from the vehicle. She said that Harv Pierre ushered her father between several rooms in the studio where he waited for approximately 2 hours before being able to confront Diddy. Now, she said once her father expressed that he intended to call the police on this punk ass nigga, that Diddy warned that nigga to think about your family and think about your daughter's career. She said her father appeared visibly frightened by Diddy's threats and actions, which in turn made her feel terrified for herself and her family's safety. The next night, she said that the group performed on Saturday Night Live, and Diddy subsequently called her, complimented her performance, and concluded with a threat. "You don't call your dad unless you're in the hospital," is what she said Diddy told her. Right? Crazy work, man. Crazy work, man. This guy, man. Bro, man. Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell y'all something, man. I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. You know, a lot of you guys, I told you guys, shout out to the brother. Man, I got about almost 20 cash apps, man. Salute to everybody that's in the cash app, man. Brendan Brown, salute to you in the cash app. I appreciate you. Let me see who else we got in here, man. Shout out to Kelly Miller in the cash app, the donation. Salute to you. Carlos Williams in the cash app with the donation. Salute to you. Jameson in the cash app. Salute to you. Let me see. Hold on. Who is this right here? Jersey Rick. Salute to you for the donation. Also, salute to you, Tabernacle, for the donation. Calvin Dickerson, salute to you for the donation. Nicole, salute to you for the $100 donation. I appreciate you. Much love to you, my sister. let me tell y'all something, man. She get on the stand tomorrow, y'all. The government came out, the feds came out today at the end of the day. The feds already had an extra clip. They knew Diddy's team was going to go hard at Cassie. You know what they was ready for? I told y'all the feds ain't playing. They got extra clips. The feds said they putting Dawn up on the stand tomorrow. Now, I'ma love how these niggas going to try and get around and make excuses and say, because you ain't going to be able to talk no freak off talk with her. You ain't going to be able to say, hey, she wanted this. No, because she's already on record saying, she said that this nigga, she said that he had the police on his payroll. And she said this nigga told him. She said she told her father, and this nigga told her dad, think about your family. Y'all see this? See, again, these niggas live in fear, bro. I told you this. Fear nothing but God, period. You understand? And that's just facts. Because he don't want to giveth and taketh away. But these people is real live punks. She's getting ready to get up on that stand tomorrow and come off the top rope on this nigga. Y'all finna see it. Y'all finna see it. And she finna vouch all this stuff Cassie's saying about the control. Remember I told y'all, that's what they talk about, the sex trafficking. These are which, so she got her own situation, right? And she witnessed Cassie's situation because she was there with Cassie. This about to get ugly. And we only in day 5. We in day 5, y'all. They got like 60 to probably 65 more days left of court. And we in day 5, and they got Don Richard coming up there next. Man, and she's a celebrity. She's from Diddy Dirty Money. So they going celebrity after celebrity. Crazy work. Diddy, man, I'm telling you, bro. Somebody said, who's this lady? What you mean, who's this lady? Y'all don't know who Diddy Dirty Money is? They sold all them records. People in the comments say, who's this lady? I don't even know who y'all artists are. That's crazy, man. These people sold all them records. You don't even know who these people are. She was in the group Danity Kane with Diddy, Diddy's group, and Dirty Money. She on the stand tomorrow after Cassie. That's crazy work. And these niggas talking about Diddy gonna get free. Man, get free where, nigga? They finna put that nigga under the jail, nigga. That's a fact. And see, here's the thing. How long these niggas gonna keep defending the abuse, the beatings, the trafficking, the prostitution, the racketeering? They gonna prove the racketeering with this shit. That nigga facing life just for the racketeering. Just for the racketeering, he facing life. He got 5 counts. He started off with 3. The racketeering, the sex trafficking, and the prostitution. He got 5 now. And I don't think people even seen Diddy's lawsuit. That's the crazy part about it. These people ain't even read Diddy's lawsuit, bro. If you read, I mean, not Diddy's lawsuit, Diddy's indictment. If y'all read Diddy's indictment, man, like I said, it's crazy. All you gotta do is go right. Look, all you gotta do to read Diddy's indictment. Let me read this part for y'all, because I don't think people really understand it. So, because they say, "Oh man, they're not gonna prove this ticket, bro." Literally, they literally are proving it. I don't know what you guys are talking about. They literally are proving it, right? But since, you know, for shits and giggles, I'm about to show y'all right now. See, I'm about to eat to these niggas. Talking about Diddy gonna get free. That nigga facing too many charges, nigga. Now let me put this one charge on the screen. And I'm finna show y'all this. And I'm finna cook these niggas 3 the hard way. And I'm sorry for my language, but you got to get on a level. Point blank, period. You got to get on a level. You know what I'm saying? You got to get on, to get to these people, you got to get on a level. You can't show no weakness. You can't be weak. Because if you're weak, you're going to get swept up. It's going to be easy work. But when you believe in yourself, you have conviction, and you believe in God, Man, can't none of these people put nothing against you, man. They gonna all fall at the end. And that's gonna be facts. You understand what I said? But let me show y'all this right here. Because, see, this is easy work. And I want everybody to read this right here. Now, look at what I just put on y'all screen. This is right off Diddy's indictment. Do y'all read that? That's what else he's being charged with. That's the third count of what Diddy's being charged with. All these different counts carry different prison sentence. Now let's read count 3. This is for everybody who don't know what the hell they talking about. I don't know what Diddy's being charged with. Like DJ Vladimir, I don't know what Diddy's being charged with. I'm gonna tell you, let you know right now, sucker. Everybody running around here talking about Cassie. Y'all shouldn't even be worried about Cassie. Y'all need to be worried about all these other people they got. Count 3. Transportation to engage in prostitution. They've already proven that. They've proven that they moved the prostitutes from state to state. That's a federal crime. When you have sex workers fly from one state to another, read the indictment. The grand jury further charges. This is what they charging Diddy with now, y'all. From at least in or about 2009 up into including 2024 in the Southern District of New York and elsewhere, Sean Combs, the defendant, knowingly transported an individual in interstate and foreign commerce with the intent that the individual engage in prostitution and attempted, aided, embedded, and willfully caused the same, to wit, Combs transported, aided, and abetted, and willfully caused the transportation of female victims and commercial sex workers in interstate foreign commerce on multiple occasions with the intent that they engage in prostitution. Game over. The transportation to engage in prostitution, that's game over. They've already got the sex workers that have said that they did it and got paid for it. He already gonna get charged on that. The sex worker went into court on day 1 and said, I took money. Then they got the other sex worker. He's gonna be the big problem. Him. They got him on the witness list now too. They said he under heavy guard. He coming to testify. He already got that settlement and that NDA agreement with Diddy, where he got paid $5 million, allegedly. I think I snapped. Now, y'all see that right there on y'all screen, right? The prostitution charge, transportation to engage in prostitution, 15 years. 15 years. Fed time. 15. Matter of fact, because these niggas gonna think I'm capping. Watch this, y'all. Let me show these niggas. Let me show these niggas. Right? Right? Prison time for transportation to engage in prostitution. Right? Here we go, y'all. Man, bro. Man. Let's see. Oh, man, he looking for. Here it goes right here. Here it goes right here. He looking at 10 years for that alone. Just for the prostitution charge, that's 10 years. That's 10 years. Right? And it can go up to 15 years. Right? Depending on the circumstances. That's just for that charge right there. I know y'all don't want to believe me, so I just put all this shit on the screen just to show these people. Let me put this on the screen, right? I just want to show these people, right? Because you know how I do. I cook bruh's barbecue style over here. Tastes so good, make you want to hug your mama. Let me put this in here for y'all. Hold on. All right? I'll put this in here for you. Make sure I get this on the screen. All right? I picture perfect. I paint a perfect picture. All right? Make sure I get this on the screen right here for y'all. Make sure we do this. Right here. Let's put it on the screen right here. And y'all finna see this on the screen right here. As y'all see. And y'all can read it yourselves. In the United States, transporting someone with the intent for them to engage in prostitution or criminal sexual activity is a federal crime under 18 and under 18 USC 2421 law and 18 USC 2423 law. This applies whether the transportation is across state lines, internationally, or within a U.S. territory or possession. The penalties can include fines and imprisonment with a maximum of 10 years for violations of 18 USC 2421 and 15 years for violations of 18 USC 2423, depending on the specific circumstances. The key aspects of the charge: intent. The prosecution must prove that the person transporting someone did so with the intent that the individual engage in prostitution or other sexual activity. That's 15 years right there. That's 10, 15 years right there. Right there. Sex workers already went into court and said they got paid. And they was talking about how they was traveling all over. Cassie already said how they was going to these all other places. They've already said, well, you already had sex workers get on the stand and say that. Right? Transportation. The transportation must occur in interstate or foreign commerce or in the U.S. territory or possession. Right? Criminal sexual activity. This includes prostitution and other sexual activities for which someone can be charged with a criminal offense. Right? 18 USC 2421, the law covers general transportation with the intent for criminal sexual activity. 18 USC 2423 specifically address transportation of unders. Okay, he facing 10 years on that. Unless they have unders on there, and they said they had one in there already, as far as the witnesses. But he's not being charged with that, so, or we don't know. We're going to wait and find out about that one. Man, I try to tell y'all this, man. They don't even need 2 charges. That one right there, just the prostitution is 10 years right there. And that's on 1 count. He got this man facing 5 different counts. Think about that. Think about that. Then the RICO, the racketeering. They don't already prove that. I told y'all they don't already prove the racketeering. The racketeering was the easiest thing to prove. There go the racketeering right there. Count 1. The first count he was charged with was a racketeering. It's on page 1. That's why I tell these dudes, they don't even read. I blow it up for you right there on page 1 of the indictment. Page 1. Count 1, racketeering conspiracy. The grand jury charges. For decades, Sean Combs, the defendant, this is what they're saying Diddy did. All they got to do is prove what they're saying he did according to the law. The defendant abused, we saw the abuse. Threatened, we've seen the threats. Coerced, we've seen coercion. Women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires. Kalina Harper get on that stand tomorrow. Protect his reputation. His co-workers going to get on the stand. His co-defendants who have flipped on him are going to get on the stand and testify against him, which is going to expose that. And conceal his conduct. They hitting that nigga with the RICO, nigga. He gonna get got on the RICO. It says to do so, Combs replied, and everybody said, who is his co-defendants? It's right there in the indictment. The reason why I didn't name them is because they all pretty much snitching on the nigga. So you'll see them in this trial giving testimony against him in exchange to not be prosecuted. To do so, Combs relied on his employees, resources, and influence of multifaceted business empire that he led and controlled, creating a criminal enterprise whose members and associates engaged in and attempted to engage in, among other crimes. So one of the crimes they're saying he did was sex trafficking, forced labor. Kalina Harper said that this man had forced labor to her, kidnapping, arson, bribery, obstruction of justice. Don't y'all know? Everybody says, how can it be a one-man RICO? That's because everybody's snitching on him. That's the reason why it's a RICO. A RICO, people, you might not even see the people that's snitching on them if you're not looking at the paperwork. He got people that's already turned to the government on him. It's a wrap. It's right there in the paperwork. Y'all niggas ain't reading. Everybody say, oh, I don't see all of this because you blind, nigga. And the RICO is life. Read what they wrote. Just read it right there. They're proving all this shit. They said that he engaged in and attempted to engage in, among other crimes, sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, prove that, arson, the Kid Cudi situation, they're gonna get to that, bribery, when he bribed the hotel staff with $100,000, they did that, obstruction of justice. Getting the witnesses and all the other stuff like that. Man, y'all niggas crazy, man. Come on, bro. Stop this. Stop this. And people sitting up there, I don't know what he's being charged with, because you can't read. You want to do a read along? We can do the Barney read along. I love you. You love me. We're a happy family with a great big hug. He was punching that girl and making her wear sunglasses. Now the feds is stumping his asses straight like that. Straight. Give me a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate the crowd. That woman was taking them ass whoopers and took that shit with a smile on her face, nigga. G shit. Imagine you getting your ass whooped all the time like that and picking yourself up, somehow, some way picking yourself back up. That's crazy work, man. And niggas out here talking about, so free this nigga. Free him. Oh, they doing him dirty, man. They doing him dirty. Niggas ain't got the same energy for these niggas out here gunning each other down, terrorizing the community, poisoning the community. Ain't got the same energy for that. But when they sticking it to one of these punks that have sucked the blood out of his own kind, like I said before, man, to God be the glory, nigga. Anything else is uncivilized. Like, share, subscribe, man. I drops the mic again, man. I see y'all tomorrow, man. Loving you is easy come. You're beautiful. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Sean Diddy Combs has left the building.
All right, you guys, so we appreciate everybody that popped in, supported this video. Make sure that you guys shop our merch. We got that new A-Weapons merchandise right there below this video. All you got to do is look below. The links will be pinned at the top of the comment section as well to get the merch, to donate, support the channel, and subscribe to our podcast show. You'll see all those links pinned at the top of the comment section of this video. And we appreciate everybody that supports this channel and our networks. Also, that straight drop weight loss formula. Go to the website. You guys will see that. A link for that will be pinned at the top of the comment section as well. Go right there for all of your weight loss needs. Straight drop weight loss formula. We have a lot of testimonials on the website. You can go to www.str-8-drop.com and get you some of the weight loss formula today. Take your weight loss serious. Get in the gym. work out, exercise, and do what you got to do. Stay on point. We appreciate everybody that's been locked into this video. Again, all the links are pinned at the top of the comment section below. Salute to all of y'all. And again, we appreciate everybody who support what we doing over here.